Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English. This is Mukesh Soni. In this video, we shall have a discussion of the KSET examination English paper 3 of the year 2016. So we are going to have a discussion of 2016 question paper, that is paper. So now let's start the question paper 3 of English 2016 question paper KSET examination. So this is a question paper 3 of English and it has 75 questions and each question has a weightage of 2 marks. So totally 150 marks question paper. So let's begin it. Question number 1. So here the first question. So read the following passage, the passage carefully and answer the questions from 1 to 4. So here you will be given here one passage or one unseen poem. So 4 questions will be asked based on this. So you can go through it. You can pause the video and you can go through those first 4 questions. So we are directly moving to the question number 5. The question number 5 from the literature means to say from our English paper. So question number 5, identify the odd one. So which is the odd one combination is here? Grammar words, structural words, functional words. Which is odd one here? The lexical words are the odd one because the lexical words means to say the content words. Question number 6, who is the author of Margins of Philosophy? The author of Margins of Philosophy is Jacques Derrida. Jacques Derrida is the author of the Margins of Philosophy. Question number 7. William Langland's Piers Plowman is a provincial work, dream vision, and the critic of the contemporary society. Question number 8. Who composed the mystical poem The Cloud of Unknowing? And who has composed? Who has composed? The unknown author, means to say we have no idea who has composed, so we call it as an unknown author, the mystical poem The Cloud of Unknowing. Then the age demanded an image of its own accelerated grimace or the grimace. So these lines occur in a poem by Ezra Pound, and the title of the poem is here Hugh Selwyn Moberly. Hugh Selwyn Moberly. That is a Hugh Selwyn Moberly. That's a poem written by Ezra Pound. In the general prologue, Chaucer is the critical but not dismissive. Chaucer is critical but he is not dismissive in the general prologue. Question number 11. Ben Jonson argued that the purpose of the comedy was to show and thereby correct the foibles of the age. Foibles of the age. Then question number 12. The restoration drama was severely attacked by Jeremy Collier. The restoration drama was severely attacked by Jeremy Collier. Collier. Next, whom does Michel Foucault consider as the founders of discursivity? Discursivity. He considers the Freud and Marx, the Freud and Marx as the founders of discursivity. Who considers Michel Foucault? Question number 13. Now moving to question number 14. Which of the following deals with the Renaissance culture? Option B, Renaissance self-fashioning. Self-fashioning is related to Renaissance culture. Question number 15. Question number 15. Who is the sorry in the Paradise Lost, who praises the image of the glorious maker? It is Saturn praises the image of the glorious maker in the Paradise Lost. Question number 16. The Birthday Party is a play by whom? By Harold Pinter. Then it's written by Harold Pinter. Which of the following statements are true of Samuel Butler's Hudibras? So about Samuel Butler's work Hudibras. So it's a mock heroic poem. It satirizes it's a satire on Puritans. It imitated Don Quixote or the Quixote. Then what is the nature of religious faith defined by Dryden in his Religio Laici or Religio Laici, and he seeks a middle path. He seeks a middle path. Then question number 19. Who described Dryden as the father of English criticism? Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson described Dryden as the father of English criticism. Then, which of the following statements is true of Restoration comedy? So, about Restoration comedy, Restoration comedy deals with wits and fopps. It was accused of being immoral. It focused on man-woman relationship. So that's about Restoration comedy. Question number 21. Which of the following is not a work expressing the beats and the angry young man's spirit? That is Waterland. Waterland novel by Ken Kesey. Sorry, Waterland novel by Graham Swift. Waterland novel by Graham Swift does not express the beats and the angry young man's spirit. So, which of the novels express On the Road by Jack Kerouac, Howl, a poem by Allen Ginsberg, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, novel by Ken Kesey. So these three works express the beats and the angry young man spirit. Next, question number 22. The narrator in Camus the Plague. Who is the narrator in Camus' work The Plague? Dr. Bernard Rux. Dr. Bernard Rux is the narrator in Camus' Plague, in Camus' famous work Plague. Then, question number 23. The Merchant of Venice portrays Shylock as the victim of racism, seeking revenge for humiliation, a representative of the finance capitalist class. Question number 24. Afra Ben's Orunoko exposes the cruelty of Europeans. It's very important poem. This question has been, it's very important question. It has been repeated many times in the previous question paper. Afra Ben's famous work, Orunoko, and that speaks about the cruelty of Europeans. Next, in Swift's The Tale of a Tub, the tale of a tub, who are the three sons? There are three sons. Sorry, the three sons in Swift's The Tale of a Tub represents the Roman Catholicism, the Church of England, and dissenters. Catholicism, Church of England, and dissenters. Then question number 26. The Beggar's Opera. What is Beggar's Opera? Beggar's Opera is a ballad opera by John Gay. It's a burlesque of Italian opera. It's a social satire. Who has written Beggar's Opera? John Gay. It's a ballad opera. Question number 27. What is touchstone in Matthew Arnold's view? Touchstone is an example of great writing providing a yardstick. Question number 28. The Enlightenment endorsed the use of reason, belief in a progress, belief in science. Question number 29. Question number 29. When Wordsworth says, I would rather be a pagan suckled in a creed outworn. So, what is he suggesting? He suggests that the pagan beliefs did not treat nature only as resources to be exploited by man for his pleasure. Pagan had mythopoeic worldview. Paganism was not materialistic. Question number 30. Who among the following did not belong to the school of new criticism? War Winters. War Winters does not belong to the school of new criticism. That means to say J.C. Ransom, Clint Brooks, W.K. Wimsatt. So these three remaining authors belong to new criticism, school of new criticism. Who are they? J.C. Ransom, Clint Brooks, and W.K. Wimsatt. Now, which is a true statement about Jane Austen? As she hinted, she wrote about a small social world. Despite her statements, her novels show a remarkable understanding of a class society. She offers a critique of the romantic sensibility. That's about Jane Austen, the famous novelist. Then question number 32. What is Gothic novel? Gothic. What is Gothic novel? The Gothic novel was a popular form only because it offered sensational and thrilling narratives. Gothic novel dealt with some aspects which mainstream writing had, whose mainstream writing had marginalized. Gothic novel was an escapist route to ordinary readers. Then, next question number 33, The Inheritance of Loss. Inheritance of Loss is a novel by Kiran Desai and is about Bodo insurgency. Bodo insurgency, the Inheritance of Loss novel written by Kiran Desai. It's about Bodo insurgency. Which novel is an allegory of Stalinist Russia? The novel name is here One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, which is an allegory of Stalinist Russia. The title is here One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. Now, which of the following works does not critique Victorianism, that is, blindness in insight? Blindness in insight does not critique the Victorianism. Now, let's know some other information. Blindness and Insight, written by Paul Deman. Eminent Victorians, written by Lytton Strachey. The Way of All Flesh, written by Samuel Butler. Then Culture and Anarchy, written by Matthew Arnold. Now, moving to question number 36. Which is the following novel by Charles Dickens analyzed in detail by F.R. Lewis in his work, The Great Tradition? The answer is here, Hard Times. So let's simplify it. So F.R. Lewis in his famous work, The Great Tradition. So F.R. Lewis has analyzed Charles Dickens' famous work, Hard Times, in his work, The Great Tradition. Then match the following. So here, Water Babies belongs to George Eliot. Dombey and Sons belong to Anthony Trollope. Then Romola belongs to Charles Kingsley. Barchester Towers belongs to Charles Dickens. Then in Keats' Audon Grecian urn, the phrase Sylvan historian. What does this phrase here refer to? It here, the urn has all over it patterns of the forest background and also scenes of past life. Means to say the forest background on the urn and the scenes of past life. That means Sylvan historian. Then question number 39, phone for telephone, ad for advertisement. What does it mean in the linguistics? That means to say clipping. Phone for telephone, ad for advertisement. Then in Browning's Robert Browning's famous work Fra Lippo Lippi. Who is the speaker? The speaker is a priest and a painter. Browning's famous poem Fra Lippo Lippi. Who is the speaker? The speaker is a priest and painter. Question number 41. Who attacked the pre-Raphaelite movement as a flashy school of poetry? Robert Bashan. Robert Bashnan has attacked the pre-Raphaelite movement as the Robert Bashnan has called pre-Raphaelite movement as the flashy school of poetry. Now, question number 42, in which work does Salman Rushdie write about his experience after the fatwa? He writes about Joseph Anton. After fatwa, he writes his experience. He writes about his experience in his work Joseph Anton. Now, Virginia Woolf argues that women's creativity in literature requires privacy and financial independence. That this is the argument by Virginia Woolf. Now, the another question number 44. Poetry is the breath and spirit of all knowledge. Who has told? William Wordsworth in his preface to the lyrical ballads. Which work by T.S. Eliot, in which work T.S. Eliot praised for using myth to impose order on the anarchy of modern life? So T.S. Eliot, which work he praises? He praises the work of Joyce, that is Ulysses, where myth has been used to impose the order on the anarchy of modern life. Now, which work by Jnanapitha Awadi created controversies recently. That is Balachandra Nemedi's Hindu. Next, the characters Ursula and Gudrun. Ursula and Gudrun appears in D.H. Lawrence's two novels, Women in Love and The Rainbow. So, in which work we find Women in Love and the Rainbow? We find uh, Women in Love and the Rainbow. We find here. Just a minute. So, Ursula and Gudrun, these two characters, we find D.S. Lawrence's famous work, Women in Love and the Rainbow. Next question. In Kingsley Amis' Lucky Jim, in Kingsley Amis' famous work, Lucky Jim, who is Jim Dixon? Jim Dixon is an anti hero. Question number 49. In Homer's epic Odysseus is a pragmatic individual. Which of the following poems is not by Philip Larkin? That is The Relic. Why? The Relic is a poem by John Donne. That means to say the remaining poems are written by Philip Larkin. Whitsun Weddings, Church Going Ambulances. So Whitsun Wedding, Church Going Ambulances, these are the poems by Philip Larkin. The Relic is a poem by John Donne. Question number 51. Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. What is this? It's a dystopia. What is dystopia? Dystopia speaks about the sufferings or the a kind of a situation or kind of a state of injustice or suffering. So Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess, it's a dystopia. The narrator of The French Lieutenant's Woman confesses that he's making up everything. So who is the French Lieutenant's Woman is written by whom? John Fowles. It's a novel by John Fowles, The French Lieutenant's Woman. This question is also asked in the earlier question papers. So quite repeated question. Who is the author of The Country and the City? Who is the author of The Country and the City? Raymond Williams. Raymond Williams is the author of the work, the novel, The Country and the City. Who is the author of the moving elegy Book Ends? Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison is the author of an elegy called Book Ends. Tony Harrison. Question number 55. Between my finger and my thumb, the squat pen rest. I'll dig with it. These lines are taken from Henny's famous work Digging. And what does it suggest? It suggests that the poet wants to use writing as a means of relating to the past. He cannot be a farmer, he's a poet. Instead of violence, he will use poetry. So these are the suggestions. These are the things we can easily find out from these lines, and these lines have been taken, extracted from Henny's poem Digging. Next. Next question number 56. Identify the author of the play or the work The Remains of the Day. The Remains of the Day is written by Kazuo Ishiguro. Kazuo Ishiguro. This question is also repeated question. Remember, The Remains of the Day written by Kazuo Ishiguro. Now the next question. Which of the following novels employs the technique of magic realism? Magic Realism is a novel by titled Tin Drum. Tin Drum, it's a novel by Gunter Grass. Tin Drum, it's a novel by Gunter Grass, and in this novel, the technique of magic realism is employed, is used. Tin Drum by Gunter Grass, Magic Realism. Now, Aristotle in his work Poetica, he says that poetry is more philosophical than history. Now let's match it. Objective correlative theory belongs to whom? T.S. Eliot. Then intentional fallacy belongs to Wimsatt and Beardsley. Beardsley. Irony and paradox, Clint Brooks. Make It New by Ezra Pound. Let's repeat important question. Objective correlative, T.S. Eliot, intentional fallacy, Wimsatt and Beardsley, the irony and paradox, Clint Brooks, then make it new, Ezra Pound. Now we are moving to question number 60. Which of the following explanations are correct? Only the first and two is correct. Tiresias is disturbed by Oedipus' hubris. Second, as a prophet, Tiresias does not want to divulge the past. Question number 61. William Tyndale, who translated the Greek New Testament into English, was executed. He was executed. Who has translated Greek New Testament into English? Now, let's match. Om Prakash Valmiki belongs to the work Jutan. Sharan Kumar Limbale belongs to the work Outcast. Lakshman Gayakwad, uh, Chalya, Uchalya, Kumud Paude, the story of my Sanskrit. Kumud Paude, story of my Sanskrit. Question number 63. Which novel has been described as a harrowing allegory of South African life? That's which novel has been described as harrowing allegory of South African life, and the name of the novel is here, The Life and Times of Michael K. That is written by J.M. Coetzee. So J.M. Coetzee's famous novel titled The Life and the Times of Michael K. Is described as harrowing allegory of South African life. Which of the following novel is a novel by Philip Roth? So Philip Roth has written American Pastoral. Which novel is by Philip Roth? American Pastoral. American Pastoral is a novel by Philip Roth. Then match the following. Again, Michael West belongs to New Methods. D.A. Wilkins belongs to National Syllabuses. Then C.J. Godson belongs to the bilingual method. N.S. Prabhu belongs to procedural syllabuses. So if you remember N.S. Prabhu, somehow we can manage the answer. N.S. Prabhu, procedural syllabuses. Okay, Michael West, the new method. D.A. Wilkins, the notional syllabuses. C.J. Dodson, the bilingual method. Question number 66. The Famished Road is written by Ben Okri. The Famished Road is written by Ben Okri. Now, the next, again, we need to match here. A.C. Bow. A.C. Bow has written the book, The History of English Language. David Crystal has written a book, The Cambridge Encyclopedia of the English Language. Then F.T. Wood has written a book titled An Outline History of the English Language. And H.G. Widdowson has written the book Explorations of Applied Linguistics. Now, question number 68. Structural approach to literature is primarily interested in understanding how structural relationships constitute the system called literature. Now, question number 69. Mahesh Dattani has written Dance Like a Man. Grish Karnad has written the play Flowers. Mahesh Elkunchwar has written Vade Chirbandi. Then Vijay Tendulkar um, has written Sakram Binder. Sakram Binder. Then the basic units of study in syntax, phrase, clauses, and sentences. Who is the target of Pope's satire in the Dunciad? That is Colley Cibber. Colley Cibber or Cyber. Colley Cibber is the target by Pope in his work Dunciad. The term womanism. Who has coined this term womanism? Alice Walker. Alice Walker has coined the term womanism. Then question number 73. The concept of dialogic imagination is coined, is associated with Michael Bakhtin. Mikhail Bakhtin. The concept of dialogic imagination is associated with Mikhail Bakhtin. Then question number 74. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight is a chivalric romance, and it's written by an unknown author. One of the Gawain, but an unknown author. Now the last question of this question paper. George Farquhar, it's again repeated question in other way. George Farquhar has written The Recruiting Officer. George Etheridge has written She Would If She Could. William Wycherley has written The Country Wife. Colley Cibber has written The Careless Husband. Colley Cibber, just now we have seen this name here. Colley Cibber has written The Careless Husband. So friends, this is how I have tried to solve these 75 questions with the help of the answer key provided by the University of Mysore, the coordinating university for this examination. If you have some more comments or any extra information about any questions or any correction, kindly feel free to write in the comment box. It would help us to enrich our knowledge. If you like this video, click on the like button, write in the comment box. If you are not yet subscribed my video, please do subscribe. Thank you so much.